why I chose this particular scooter. Number one was for me is ergonomics, simple, plain ergonomics. The reason for selecting this particular model, simply put, ergonomic. Well, let's get into the justification. All right, my friends, let's talk about why I chose this particular scooter. Number one was for me is ergonomics, simple, plain ergonomics. My primary reason for selecting this particular model, my primary reason for selecting this particular model, simply put, ergonomics. As you can see how my feet are, the placement of my feet and my knees, the angle of my knees to my chest is very important to me. If my knees are elevated for too long towards my stomach or above my waistline, it causes great pain and difficulty in my back. So I need something that I can stretch my legs out, my feet out, and lower my knees ergonomically. Number one thing important for me, and you can see how where my feet are on this one, it's a flat surface that allows me to stretch my legs out. Number two, I like to put welcome in, everybody. Good to see y'all bright and early this evening. Hope you guys are doing great. What's going on in y'all's world? Always stuff going on in my world. My world is your world. Your world is my world. Thank y'all for the thumbs up as you come in. If you're catching this on the replay, man, we can't thank you enough for that. Don't forget to say hello. Say hello to everybody. Make friends with everybody. Become friends. Why can't you just all be friends? I don't understand. All right. Oh yeah, I've already been there. No, I haven't been there. Let me work on this. I'm working on some stuff that it carries up to 3. Did I miss something? I'm working on entertainment for you kind people. One thing important for me, and you can see how where my feet are on this one, it's a flat surface that allows me to stretch my legs out. Number two, I like to put that if you're working on videos, boys and girls, yes, we are tonight. Kind of late working on video, but we're here doing it. Up to 300 pounds of weight. So on that 300 pounds, but having something that can handle more weight than you are It's a great thing because you may want to drag some luggage around with you or use it all day long. So you want to definitely get a scooter that can handle more weight than you are. I guess number three would be functionality. So this scooter is going to be primarily used for indoor use, traveling, cruise ships, airplanes, malls, zoos, and etc. So what my wife and I really talked about was how important it was to get something, one, that legally can fly on an airplane, which this can by popping the battery and using the battery in your carry-on. You can check the scooter below, all works straight to the cruise ship, it fits to the doors. And I think it's very important or very favorable for this scooter that it is a power folding scooter. And you may think that's a luxury, and maybe it is, but
Maybe
here's
it
what we
is.
want. I don't know. So
What
I
do you think?
realize that when we are
Howdy, thank y'all for the thumbs up, everybody. You guys are my heroes.
you can just fold it up.
Everybody who gives me a thumbs up, is my new favorite person in the whole entire world.
Stairs, it's not super heavy, so we can drive this up.
You guys are all my favorite people in the whole entire world.
When it's folded up in the suitcase style, right? And this scooter is perfect for elevators. So let me explain to you.
Elevators are very
So
important.
for instance, when you're on a scooter and you go in elevators, you know that they take up a lot of space.
A lot of people don't like to share.
It's a little antsy at you because you're taking up too much space. A folding scooter and a
It's only fair.
scooter in particular,
You can't help the elevators.
fold it, roll it into the elevator just like it's a piece of luggage. Take the elevator, get off the elevator, then turn it back into your mobility scooter and allow you to go in your way.
I'm trying to wrap up the video I'm editing right now, getting ready to get it to render.
Another selling point for me is that this scooter has a suspension.
Oh, by the way,
If you've ever used one of those
this live stream is brought to you today by Brisk Lipton Iced Tea. This live stream can be brought to you by whatever brand you want to sell.
the suspension system is going to be.
Now, I wish it was brought to you by that. I just happen to like the drink. I'm not affiliated with them. They've never called me up and said hi or anything.
It's very important.
Oh, hold on. I got to check some audio. You guys got me distracted. You had me talking about my favorite drink, and I got distracted.
Having something that's a comfortable ride.
I'm trying to cut out some dead space.
Is very important. Friends, if you ever have any questions about mobility scooters or maybe need help you select what's best for you, hey, please feel free to reach out to me. I have done so much research, so much homework, so much thinking and studying on mobility scooters in order to pick the right one for myself. I am sure I can help you. And of course, no charge or anything like that. We here at Philippine American Couple Defenders
That's us, by the way. Hear that? They're talking about
I want
us.
you guys to get out there and enjoy your life, enjoy your world. And if we can help you in any way, shape, or form with any of that, you just reach out to us. As promised, here's a breakdown of my invoice.
I can cut some of this out, shrink that like that. Got to get my dissolving thingy going on, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's a breakdown of my invoice. So originally the scooter sold for $2,775. The
Do we get that much cut out? Let me see. Well, I guess we did.
So originally the scooter sold for $2,775.
Howdy, everybody.
$84. The portable docking station for the battery was $163. I did purchase this from electricalchairsusa.com. You may have as promised, here's a breakdown of my invoice. So originally the scooter sold for $2,775. The loading basket was $84. The portable docking station for the battery was $163. I did purchase this from electricalchairsusa.com. You may ask why. Well, they gave me the biggest discount. All the other websites and or companies, uh, mobility scooter websites, they all gave you a range of discounts of 3, 7, 5, 8%. But I got the largest one at 10% through Electric Wheelchair USA. So I purchased it from them. With the discount, it came down to $27.1980, a total savings of $302.20 with free shipping. Thanks for watching, everybody. Give us a thumbs up, big shout out, and stay mobile. See you soon. All right. You are my hero.
¿No? Quita. What do you think?
First impressions are so important. How do you know this? I think I'm done with that. I'm going to try to say we're done with that and see how it turns out. Uh-oh, I better rewrite this. What do we call this? I almost forgot the name of it. Shit. I don't understand what that is. I just gotta do- Maybe there's enough space on my other drive. I guess maybe that's what I should have been doing all along, but I wasn't smart enough to understand how to use some of the external drives. But now that I'm kind of becoming an expert, thanks to all of y'all, because of all of y'all, I'm becoming an expert. Remember, you guys are my favorite people in the whole entire world. All right, so that's going to work. Oh no, it's looking to hope it's enough room on there. I don't know why. I got to clean out a bunch. I don't know. I need a bigger internal hard drive. I got two external hard drives that are a terabyte each. I need a 1 terabyte hard drive inside the drive, right? Inside drive. And let's hope that is going to be sufficient. No, I need to save this video I've worked all day on. I don't want to have to start all over after 3 hours of work. So come on, baby, light my fire. Tell me how you love me. Tell me how you love me. Love, love. Yay. All right. Should I go to this one too? I guess I need to. Maybe I'll shut down some of these. Open windows, right? Page is out of date. How can it be out of date? I like watching these scammer ads. When I was 19 years old, I was poor and I was broke, but now that I'm 30 years old, I'm worth $400 million because all I did was sell shoes. I take Sanders in the house. Thumbs up, daddy up. How are you, buddy? How's your weather? We got light storms coming through here tonight. Nothing major. We dropped the temperature about 15 degrees today, though. That's kind of wicked. We've had the home improvement people here today working on the house. Man, hopefully next week they're going to be done. I don't know when next week, but hopefully next week all the work will be done. They're going to come back on Monday and repaint all the walls. Hopefully Tuesday or Wednesday, they're going to be putting the new cabinetry back in. 70, yeah, it was beautiful here. I mean it. It was in the upper 70s. And then we had a storm go through Oklahoma and Missouri, and that tail end of it caught us. And we went from about 77, 78 to 62 degrees in a matter of 20 minutes. So, woo-hoo. What are you gonna do for me? I am here for you, for you. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes worth of rain. We got about 10 minutes worth of rain. But other than that, it's been a good day. The painters were here, the trim people was here. You know, tomorrow my wife's making me go shopping. Do you want to go shopping with us? How would your wife and kids like to go shopping with us? You got a credit card she can have just to, that's what you need when you go shopping with my wife. You got to have a big bank account to go shopping with my wife. We're going to go do some running around tomorrow. So, and then there you go. I Emma's in the house. How are you? Hello, sir. When did you come online? I came online about 5, 10 minutes ago, 18 minutes ago to be exact. 18 minutes ago. How are you today? How are things in your world? What's going on in your world? What can you tell us about you? We are here to answer questions, solve problems, build you up, make you better than you are. So yeah, we've been online about 18, 19 minutes. I've been working on video editing and stuff today, putting stuff together. Did I finally get enough? Shit. I'm having trouble with my storage. I need to get a bigger internal hard drive. I have some external hard drives. So now I'm trying to save this big video over to an external hard drive, but now the software is checking it to make sure there's room. I'm like, just trust me, there's room. Just do it. I need to go through and I think there's a whole lot of hidden folders and things that I have that I need to delete. I think I got a whole bunch of AI stuff that is saved that I didn't know was saved that I need to go through and just delete. I only need a couple of pictures. And I think I got 40 or 50 AI things, and I think they're taking up a lot more space than I realize. Because I have a software program that you can kind of write what you're looking for, and it will AI it for you. Like if I'm looking for a picture of a fat white guy in a tropical shirt and a hat, fedora, stingy rim fedora, it will make one. But I think it's taking up too much room. All of those data files are taking up too much room. I need to work on that. I really need to say this. Shit. Just woke up and joined the live, thinking that you might also be online. Yes, you were thinking right. You're a very bright individual. We think alike. Oh, shit. We think alike, my friend. Maybe I got two. I don't know how long it's going to take him to calculate this. I've been awake all day, of course. We had to get up early because we were expecting home improvement people here at the house. I did have to run some errands today, and then I've been trying to work on a video all day and all that good stuff. So we haven't done too many exciting things today. I was going to go out and check the mail, but I forgot, so I'll do that tomorrow, I guess. But thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way. Sanders, if you're still there, did you watch that video? I saw a video clip the other day about, I know he wasn't an Amazon driver, but I guess he was a third party driver who went up to deliver a package and some little dog came out at him. Super vicious. I watched the dog's behavior. It wasn't like it was on attack mode, but he grabbed the little dog by the neck and slammed him to the ground and broke its leg and stuff. Man, I tell you what, if I was those homeowners, that guy that touched my dog like that, he would never walk again. He had no need to pick the dog up by the neck and slam it on the concrete, trying to kill it. Sometimes what we think, what happens immediately in India is considered like, yeah, yeah, I don't know if you saw that, man, Sanders, but it was horrible, horrible. I mean, you gotta, if you're so angry as a delivery driver, then don't be a delivery driver. If you can't rationalize and understand danger versus not danger, then don't do it. I mean, because you can watch the animal behavior and go, it wasn't coming out to kill him. Plus, it was like a 4-pound dog. So, well, in some ways, Gamma, everything's luck. And I know India believes in that, but a lot of countries do. So, well, and that's what I mean. I know you're a doggy fan like I am, and I promise you, he would have left that world if he would have done that to mine. Um, uh, I'm I'm serious. He would not. I agree. So, just made me think of you and I, and I had a guy a while back came over to give us a bid, and I guess he doesn't like dogs, and he asked me to lock my dog up in a cage, and I told him no. I said I don't lock my dogs in cages. Because we don't. A lot of people do, and the kennels them, and that's fine. But he said, I need you to lock up your dog before I can come in. And I said, no, my dog's more important than you are. I'll have my wife hold my dog, but this is just the way it is. The dog's more important than you are. If you want to give us a bid, give us a bid. If not, send somebody else who's not scared of dogs out to give me a bid. Life is random, and majority of Indians believe that predetermination as per religious. Yeah, I know. It's got a, you know, there's a lot of people believe that. A lot of countries, a lot of populations that all believe in predetermination and what the Bible says, or religious books or spiritual books. That's how so many people are so rich, by writing, feel good books. But, and I'm not saying I don't, I just like to play devil's advocate and try to get people to think outside the box. Why does everybody have to turn to another source to figure out what's right or wrong? I don't need an outside source to tell me what's right or wrong. I can do it myself. Rocket is the only one I keep in a cage because he will chew up everything. Yeah. Well, and we use kennels when we travel and stuff like that, right? Not a big deal. But to come to my house as a visitor and to tell me that I need to lock my dog, that's kind of not how this works, Not how it works. So I did tell him I felt sad for him that he was so scared of dogs. Well, I'm not scared of them. I just don't want to be bit. I said, well, isn't that the same thing? I said, but we're not, my wife will hold the dog, but we're not going to lock the dog up. Well, that made me think of us the other day, man. Here in the state of Arkansas, a couple of years ago, we had a fat, lazy, country bunkum of a police officer go to somebody's house, and their dog was outside in the yard, an outside dog. I think it was even on a chain. And it got up, and you can see in the body cam, the dog got up and started walking towards him, and he's wagging his tail, and the cop shot him and said, oh, he's an aggressive dog. He was going to get me. So. Well, how is India dealing with the whole Iran thing? What does your country of India think about Iran and all of the dramas there? How do you guys feel about Pakistan stepping in and taking a lead in that part of the world? Because I know India and Pakistan are not quite friends. So is India jealous of Pakistan for standing up and taking a lead? Pat's in the house. Good evening, Pat. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. We're doing pretty good. We are. I've been working on a video today, Pat, and I'm trying to get it to export to my computer, but my computer says it's too fat. So I'm working on that. So I'm trying to delete. Pat, how are you feeling today?
The primary reason for Huntington is wet there.
My computer is all clogged up. India, there's a lot of superstition that I am thinking about, and you appear immediately after a long time. And Indians say that your life expectancy age will increase. No, I'm going to reread your statement to make sure I understand it. In India, there's a superstition that if I am thinking about you and you appear immediately after being gone a long time, that you guys say that your life expectancy will age will increase. No, we don't think that. We don't think there's really anything that's going to prolong your life. In America, the only thing that can prolong your life is getting rid of a bad wife or a bad husband. That's about the only thing that will prolong your life, your life. So no, we don't believe in that. We do believe kind of like, well, I believe everything's a coincidence, right? It just is happenstance. If I'm thinking about you, and then all of a sudden you call me out of the blue and we haven't talked in 2 years, do I think there's anything special about that? No, I just think you thought about me and decided to call me. So a lot of people will get excited about, oh, it must be karma, it must be fate. You know, Jimmy was thinking of me and he called me. Oh my goodness gracious, now we must get married and have 20 kids. No, we don't really, nah, not really us. Not, I don't think, I don't know if Pat or Sanders thinks, any different than I do, but no, I guess a lot of us just think things are random, and they really are. Because you just never know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. You can plan for A, B, and C, but you may not see A, B, and C ever. Sure. So, my question about your country, India, is one, how do you guys feel about your news, the people, the citizens of India feel about what's going on in Iran, the country of Iran? Two, how does your country, knowing that India and Pakistan are not super good friends, how do you guys feel about Pakistan being on the world stage, taking a leadership role and trying to broker a peace deal? They are random. I agree. Pat agrees with me. Thank you, Pat. I think a lot of I mean, you can help shape things, and I'll give you this example. If you need a job, you can hasten your chance of getting a job by going out and looking for a job. There's no guarantee that you'll get a job, but there's a better chance of you getting one if you go looking. If you sit at home and go, well, I want a job, but I don't apply for any jobs, a job's not going to come to you. Same thing with a wife. If you want a wife or a dog, whatever it may be, now, a stray kitten, if you want a kitten, now somebody may dump a stray cat on your yard, but for the most part, if you want something here, we believe that you got to work towards it or towards it, put forth effort. I think there is the majority of Americans that believe in good deeds. We believe that if you work hard and if you're doing the right things, then good things will come to you. I preach all the time, positive equals positive, negative equals negative. If I'm out there drinking and driving, doing drugs, doing all these bad things, then I'm going to go to jail, which is a bad thing. Eventually, I'm going to get in trouble. But if I'm working hard, paying my bills, doing well in life, helping others the best I can, not to hurt myself, but the best I can, then good things are going to happen to us. So I'm a firm believer in good equals good, bad equals bad. So that's what I am. So did it work? No. Pat, I think we're going to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma tomorrow. I need to get some new house slippers, or I don't want to call them house slippers. They're really not slippers. My wife is looking for a new pair of shoes. She's going on vacation in June and she's going to do a lot of walking. So she's going to be looking for herself a very good pair of walking tennis shoes. And I think she's found a place in Tulsa she wants to go look. Me, My favorite Skechers slippers that I've had for 8 or 9 years are just about wore out. So I need to go and get me a new pair. I need to go get me some, see if I can find some new Arch Fit slippers. This live stream can be brought to you by Skechers Arch Fit shoes, only if they would pay me. So we think Pakistan is a corrupt terrorist country, a threat to humanity. India and Pakistan relations are not good. They haven't been good in many years. Even in the cricket sports, we have ignored playing Pakistan in the bilateral. Okay, all right. So I knew that because I have friends that live in India and I have friends that live in Pakistan. So I kind of get it, which is really funny because the rest of the world sees you guys as cousins. We see you guys as twins. You know, a lot of people cannot, besides you guys, distinguish between somebody from Pakistan and somebody from India. You guys are twins, right? That's how a lot of countries see Pakistan and India. That you guys are Siamese twins, that you're brothers, you know? And so the fact that you guys don't like each other is kind of humorous. But let me ask you this. We know India doesn't like Pakistan, and you think Pakistan is corrupt. Do you think Pakistan thinks India is corrupt and a terrorist country? Which I imagine the answer is yes. But would you like Pakistan to help solve the Iran problem? Sorry, the Iran is it Iran? Iran. And just to throw fuel on the fire, I really want to know who makes the better food. Oh, don't burn out on my computer. So, who makes better food, India or Pakistan? And why? Because I know you're going to say India. Why is Indian food better than Pakistani food? See what happens when you wake up and you find me online? There's all kinds of questions. India is worse. Pull that back up. India would expect, okay, India would expect, yes. Yeah. All right. So Gamma says, you asked me about Iran. I did. News is showing us as USA is doing bad to Iran. Okay. And Trump is going mad. Okay. We do not exactly know the root cause of the conflict. Okay. Our good friend Tate says, Indian food's a little spicy for me. I agree. I agree. When we eat Indian food, we eat it at a -1 spice. Well, let me say this. Our president is not going crazy mad. He's not. Two, everybody hates our president, which we're okay with. The root cause is we do not want the country of Iran to have nuclear capabilities. That's number one. We don't want them to bomb your country, Pakistan, or any of the other people in the world. We don't want, and maybe we shouldn't care, but we do. We don't want Iran to have the ability to drop nuclear weapons like Korea and Russia could do. Sorry, North Korea. My Visual World is in the house. I saw your video, buddy. How are you? Good morning to us. That's right here. How are you? So Trump is not crazy mad like that, psychotically mad. He plays a lot of games. He plays a lot of word games with people. Now, I will say this: he does like to piss people off and make you think that he's crazy. He's not, but he wants people to think he is. And I understand that. It's a good strategy. When people think you're crazy, they won't screw with you. Doing good. I just need to figure out life for the day. Wow. Wow. Well, it's Saturday in the Philippines, right? Yeah, because it's Friday in America. So it has to be Saturday there. So what can you do on a Saturday in the Philippines? That says hello to you, AJ. Good to see you, my brother. My brother from another mother. My brother hanging out in another country. Yepers. It happens to be Saturday. Well, it's Friday evening here. Tomorrow's Saturday. I got to take my wife shopping tomorrow. Somebody come and hit me over the head like a baby seal. So therefore, I don't have to go. If somebody would come to my house and club me like a baby seal, I wouldn't have to go. Hello, Pat. Good to see you too, my friend. I've been working on a video all day, but my computer is. I need to be smart. I think I got too many things going on in my computer. So I'm deleting some files so I can try to save a big video I made. I got too many AI files. I think it's what's clogging up my computer. India is better in vegan food because Pakistans are almost 100% non-vegan eaters. Non-vegan is what I have seen tourists sharing. Seems Pakistan has better food. I do like their chicken biryani. Biryani, is it biryani or biryani? I'm a big fan of biryani. Biryani, whatever it's called. I'm a vegetable eater, so I rate Indian food better. Well, there you go. There you go. Um, I I give a lot of respect to people that eat vegetarian diets because I can't do it. Anybody who can eat a lot of vegetables is very impressive in my world because this fat white American boy, he doesn't want to eat vegetables. He doesn't want to eat lettuce or cabbage. Sometimes he'll eat green beans and carrots, but with butter and salt and pepper and things that make it fat like bacon grease. But I'm hats off to anybody who likes to eat vegetables. Biryani, I like boneless meat only though. Yeah, I'm not big on bones either, but man, that biryani is good. When we were living in the Philippines, one of our good friends is from Pakistan, and he made a big old. Oh my goodness gracious! Woo! That was some eating now. Let me tell you. Yep, I'm supposed to join a friend live later today for a birthday. Outstanding. Whose birthday is it? Yours or your friend's? Yeah, it's Unbothered Avocado's birthday, if I remember right. If you guys know her, Jamie, who we did the baby shower for, I think today is her birthday. Sure, you almost tried eating vegetable food. No, man, I hate veggies. Many people are leaving non-vegetarian due to currently cruelty involved. Otherwise, it's your choices. There's no law on food choices from a moral ground. Oh no, I get you. It's all right. I understand. I do. All I'm saying is vegetables are good for you. I just don't like them unless they got like cheese and bacon on them. So, for people that can eat a lot of vegetables, I think it's impressive because David just can't do that. You know, if cheese was a vegetable, then I would be a vegetarian. You think you're going to get some biryani today? Well, I'm not. You suck. And that's not very nice of you to come on here and talk about good food. Tease me with that. But I think everybody I'd eat whatever their culture suggests, whatever their religion. A lot of people eat whatever their religion tells them. I think you just eat whatever makes you happy, 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 happy. But if you're into the vegetarian thing, go for it. If you're into meat, go for it. I don't begrudge anybody. I don't care what anybody eats. I really don't. We got friends that are vegans and vegetarians and carnivores and, omnivores, of course. Foodie, foodie. Yeah, I could be a foodie, all right. And the key about food, right, is the older we get, the better quality of food we like, right? There's a transition as we age. When we're younger, we're happy to eat anything as long as it's cheap and we can afford it. As we get older, we start going, well, we want the food to look good, right? Then as we get older and older, we go, well, not only do we want the food to look good, now we want it to really taste good and look good. So we move up this evolutionary chart of the food industry. So now when I go out to dinner, I expect better quality food, prettier food than I ate when I was in my 30s. Hey, Vienna sausages, man, I haven't had that since I was probably 30 years old. So like yesterday. No. Ramen, I like ramen. My wife doesn't like me eating it because of the sodium content. But I gotta admit, I like ramen. I really do. And I like to put crackers in it. I know it's probably crazy, but I like to put crackers in it. Peanut butter and jelly. Woo! Now you're talking. You can never go wrong with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You can never go wrong. And if you need to spice it up a little bit, you toast the bread and then put the peanut butter and jelly on it. Woo-wee. And try it on like good quality bread. Really good quality bread. Or have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on an English muffin, a toasted English muffin. Oh, oh. Do it like Desi's in the house. Everybody say hello to each other, by the way. You guys haven't done that. So do that. Hello, my dear. Do it like Desi has a cooking channel. She knows what we're talking about. So, oh, I know you love it. Yes, I got one of my tropical shirts. Yes. Technically, I don't think there's a flower on this one. Technically, I think it's palm leaves. But yes, I look very flowery today. I do. Thank you for acknowledging that. Yes, you came in on the tail end of the PB and J. Do you like PB and J, peanut butter and jelly? I like peanut butter, but it has to be crunchy peanut butter. And it has to be real peanut butter. It has to be high grade peanut butter, and it has to be like something a jelly needs to be like a handcrafted jelly or like a Smucker's. So I quit eating generic jelly. Actually, we live in a loop. If we stop eating non-vegan, non-vegetables, then what will people do? What people do who are employed by this industry? Shift the demand of many chaos and they're making people unemployed. All right, I understand what you're saying. If the whole entire world said we're not going to eat vegetables anymore, the vegetable industry would collapse and everybody who works in the vegetable industry would lose their jobs. But here's what I'm going to tell you. There's not a thing except for extraterrestrials that you could ever get everybody, and you could even get it on that. You can't even get everybody on the planet to agree to the fact that they breathe air, right? There's people on this planet that does not believe they breathe air. So how in the world would we get the entire planet to give up vegetables or to give up cows? We can't even agree on the fact that we breathe oxygen. There you go. Apricot jam is good. Woo-hoo. I like raspberry jam. Raspberry. I do like better quality, lower sugar. I'm trying to be better. I told my wife today, I don't know if she liked this or not, but we're going on a cruise in October. And of course, we always dress up for the cruises. So I told her today, I said, we got to lose weight before October on our cruise. Even though our dog Lily is not going on the cruise, our dog Lily needs to lose 10 pounds by October, which is a lot for her. She's 26 pounds. I told my wife, I said, I need to lose 20 pounds and she needs to lose 10 pounds. I thought that was fair, but I don't know if my wife thinks that's fair. Non-vegan means meat. Exactly. Right? Non-vegetables mean meat. Yes. Yes. Let's remember during COVID, when the meat was rationed, we all had vegetables. Really? I don't think we had any problems like that where we lived. I mean, Desi, to be honest, we had we didn't run out of meat here. You know, during COVID, our diet didn't change, except for we didn't go out and eat. I mean, we didn't have a food problem here. They were running out. Tyler's in the house. Tyler Dixon says, "Man, you are so handsome. It's unbelievable. Thanks, man. I was hoping when some live popped up, wouldn't be some generating shit. It's not. It's not, man. It's not. It's just handsome looking me. It's just me. The reason I called we live in a loop, yes, of problems is while solving a problem, the particular problem might solve, but the other problems, I would agree, might arise. Sometimes even focused problems. I agree. What you're saying is one solution to a problem can create many other problems. We see this in nature all the time. When somebody introduces, okay, for instance, I'll give you an example. So you have an algae problem in a lake, so you introduce Asian carp into the lake. They eat up all of the vegetation, which takes away the oxygen in the lake. The other fish cannot thrive and survive in the vegetation because there's no vegetation for them to lay their eggs in. All those fish die and go away. And in a few short years, you have a dead lake with only Asian carp dying in there because they're the last ones alive. So I agree. Same thing when they imported rats and put this over here and snakes over here and shit over here. I agree. My views, you like it. Love Man X. Woo-wee. I tell you, it's you guys are all my favorite people. If I haven't told you that today, all of you guys are my favorite people in the entire world. You are indeed. So yes, I understand about the downstream effect of things. Dennis is in the house. Yes. How are you, Dennis? Yes, Keto. And throw in some caviar. Well, melt off. Okay. All right. See? Dennis knows what we're talking about. He does. He's from Canada. Dennis knows. He knows. Pat says hello to your brother Dennis. Good to see ya. So you're exactly right. You know, we introduce different species, or we do this, we do that. You know, we ban carrots. So now everybody goes blind because they're not getting enough vitamin A. But maybe the eye doctors want to ban carrots because if there's no carrots, there's no vitamin A, and people go blind. And the eye doctors make a whole lot more money selling glasses. So there you go. I mean, it's all the way. Hello, Pat. Carnivore. Oh, carnivore. Sorry. I'm thinking food. Where you been, man? You know, get rid of the keto, then you do the carnivore. We were talking about food, man. I was thinking caviar because I just talked about fish eggs. You see the correlation there? It's talking about there's no fish eggs in the vegetation, Dennis. I'm not crazy. I don't got squishy brain today. Just saying. So, getting a bit of spare cash, great. Soon considering Manila, Asia, Japan, or whatever, but probably Amsterdam and Bangkok for some BS. You travel where you would recommend? Uh, yeah, I got some places, and let me ask a couple people. Tyler, we'll give you an answer. One person to ask is Dennis. Dennis, if you read Tyler's comment, where would you recommend that he travels to? So, but Tyler, let me follow up with this before I give you my answer. What is it that you hope to achieve on your trip? So what is your motivation? Is it like going to see nature? Is it going to go see sexy women? Is it going to go eat food? Or is it a religious what is that word? Pilgrimage? So what is your motivation for traveling? Or what do you hope to do while you travel? Here in India, problem corruption is major. Even hiking taxes on promotes corruption rather than threatening citizens for their wrongdoing. If people pay less amount in bribes than paying the whole tax, yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah, I mean, you got to accept that's just the way the world is. America's just as corrupt as everybody else. We just do it differently. I hate bugs. I just want to experience real life without the trouble. If women is the key, go to Colombia and or Thailand. And I think Dennis has a point. Now, if you need to go somewhere where they speak English and have women, yes, the Philippines is perfect for that. If you're wanting to go see nature, hang out in America. Go to the Grand Canyon, go to different places. Go on some cruises to like to Aruba and Curacao. Go to some places like that. If you're wanting the food, Thailand's a great place for food. You can go to India and visit our friend there. If you hate bugs, the tropics is not for you, my friend, because the bugs are very, very healthy in the tropics. Cruises are great. They're clean, they're safe. You can meet women, have a good time, drink, eat, whatever you want to do. Go see many different places on cruises. I personally, if you're not a seasoned world traveler like Dennis, who has a mansion in Mexico, Colombia, Thailand, and the Philippines, I would probably take some cruises. It's safe, it's easy, and you'll really enjoy it. The food's great, the people are good. If you got a honey bunny you want to take with you, women love to go on cruises. If not, you can go on other ones. But there are fantastic places all over the world to visit. You got to figure out what's in your heart. What's your motivation? Do I want to be impressed by Mother Nature? Do I want to be impressed by the women folk? Do I want to be impressed by the food? Yes, my views, your world. AJ talks about yes. The Philippines is a great gateway drug to Southeast Asia. It is. They speak English. It's a lot like a lot of the other Asian countries. It gets your feet wet. It's a good jumping off point to the other countries. Safety is number one. Yeah, I would agree with that. Traveling safely is a good thing. Or not being robbed and killed and murdered, or coming home with strange diseases is a good thing. That's personally why we like cruise ships, to be honest, because it's safe and we're lazy. But I hear Japan's a great on my bucket list. We have Australia, not and there's no particular order, but on my bucket list, we have Australia, Japan, Thailand, not for the women or the lady boys, but because I would really like to see all the temples. I'm an architectural fan. Let's see, where else? I guess that's getting close. I would like to see some South American countries. I think that'd be cool. We've been to a few like Belize and Honduras. So we've been to those. We've been to the tropics quite a bit. OZ got to be on there. OZ, what's OZ? Am I missing something? Oz has got to be on there. Oz, the land of Oz, like in the Wizard of Oz. I'm lost there. I would like to see New Zealand. I would be good with, I mean, if I got, it's not high on the list, but parts of Europe, not real high on the list, but I'd be okay going there. Um, Australia, oh, Aussie, yeah, the Australia, yeah. Papua New Guinea, I think would be cool. Some of those small remote islands would be kind of cool to see. But Australia's on the list. Yeah, I agree. I would agree. And Australia is easy to get to from America, apparently. So thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way. But Dennis is correct. Colombia would be good. I wouldn't mind going to Colombia. I would like to go to trying to what's the other one? Buenos Aires. I think that would be cool. Panama would be good. It's an English speaking country in South America. I don't really see anything on the African continent that interests me. I'm going to Playa del Carmen in May. Woohoo! That's where Dennis has a luxury mansion at. Brazil. Brazil would be cool. I agree. Brazil would be cool. Yes, Brazil would be cool. I wouldn't mind going to the west coast of Mexico. I would agree with you. We haven't been to the west coast, just the east coast. So we've been to the Bahamas. I do want to go to St. Croix, St. Thomas. We're going to the Cayman Islands and Jamaica this year. So we've been to the DR, to the Bahamas, to Aruba, so the Philippines. I wouldn't mind going to Korea. I think hanging out and seeing some real part of Korea would be interesting. Anywhere they have beautiful beaches and women and seafood. Oh, I see what you're going at. Well, take a cruise. The seafood, the food is excellent on a cruise ship, and you can pick one to go to any of those places you want to see. To be honest, that's what we do. We will pick a cruise and go to multiple different countries. We'll take an excursion for the day. Now, granted, we're not spending a week in Aruba or Jamaica. We're just spending a day there, catching a flare of the country. But, you know, it's a good way to kind of test to see if you like any part of the vibe. But food on a cruise ship is excellent. And they always clean your room after you're done sleeping when you go out for the day. You come back, your room is spotless. Ken was asking, which country do you think is the most risky for traveling? Boy, I think right now, it depends on who you are and where you're from. Yes, unless you get in a fight for the last piece of chicken. That's why you don't take 3 day cruises. I was telling somebody that today. The rule of thumb is don't take 3 day cruises because that's where they just go drunken and drinking on. You go on longer cruises than that. Iran would be bad right now. I would agree. But I do. It's a good question. I mean, where would I not go? Obviously, I wouldn't go to North Korea, plus they wouldn't let me in. But I mean, there's places that I don't want to go just because, you know, but I wouldn't feel safe. Okay, I guess this. I wouldn't feel safe going to a lot of countries in Africa because I would stick out like a sore thumb and I know none of the languages. So I don't think I would feel comfortable doing that. I mean, not that I wouldn't go like on a safari, but I wouldn't randomly just catch a plane and go. Right now, I wouldn't, you know, I would be careful about what parts of Mexico I would hang out in, but I'd still go to Mexico. Wait until the war is over, then travel will be cheap. Yeah, Scotty's in the house. Good morning, PAC. That's us, by the way. Scotty, how are you, my friend? Everybody said hello to each other. So that's a good question for everybody. What country right now, besides Iran, what country would you not want to travel to? Scotty, my views, AJ, everybody. And Kama, who lives in India, what country would you not travel to? That's an interesting. Where you're from? Dennis is from Canada. Dennis, what country in the world besides America? Dennis, would you not want to travel to? It's darn hot in the Philippines. Well, it's the Philippines. You're living in the equator. Pat, same question. What country in the world would you not want to travel to? Or what would you, yeah, would you feel, most at risk? Um, I mean, I don't want to go to Greenland just because it's too damn cold. But would I feel safe there? Yeah, I'd probably be bored. Hello, Pat from Scotty Show. How's the Scotty B Show? So that's a great question. Yeah, when the war's over, the travel may be cheaper. I know. Well, the fuel costs go down, cruises will go down. I know that. I just paid $3.20 a gallon for gas here, which is still not horrible. Eastern European countries, okay. Yeah, yeah, okay. I would agree with some of that. There's a lot of those I wouldn't. I don't know if I would feel unsafe. It may not be wise. I think the key would be to like carry a backpack that has the flag of another country on it. So don't advertise that you're an American. So I hear Japan is good to visit, but very expensive. Yeah, we'd like to go to Japan, but Japan is getting to the point where they don't want tourists to come there. Japan is saying, look, you keep all of your nasty ass people out of my country. So Japan is becoming a little strict, like, hey, we don't want you coming over here and shitting in our streets and peeing in our streets and impregnating our women. We don't want you guys coming over here drinking and acting foolish in our country. Unlike America. Cruise is a great idea, means I can travel for a week or two and dip my toes. Yes. To be honest, that's what we love about them. We really do. You could take a 1 week cruise, a 2 week. We've done 2 weeks. If we didn't have a dog and we had $90,000 each, we would take a round the world cruise. We would, but we don't have that kind of money. Wear the Canadian flag. Is that what it is? You got to wear the Canadian flag. Sir, your wife is from the Philippines. Yes. And you're from the US. Yes. How did you find her and get married? You and her culture is different. Well, one thing you got to understand is my wife gave me a lot of money to marry her. She begged me, she bribed me, she gave me lots and lots of cash. So, but to be honest, the Philippine culture and American culture is not that far apart. They're apart in age, meaning the Philippines is like America was 70 years ago. So a lot of American men like Asian women because they're not like American women. They're more like American women from 70 years ago. They're family friendly. So the Philippines and America is really not that far apart, to be honest. But my wife and I met because my wife gave me money. She had family living in America, is how I got introduced to her. And I grew up around the Filipinos since I was 18. So I have a lot of Filipino experience. And I taught international students for 25 years. So I got a lot of experience dealing with people from India, Pakistan, Hong Kong, everywhere pretty much. She dropped in his lap from out the heavens. She came from the crack in the ground and came up from hell. What do you mean heaven? I think you got the wrong part. No, she's good. So I have nice cars. Me? I'm married, man. I have nothing. I have nothing that's nice. I'm married. Are you crazy? I don't have anything nice. I used to have nice things, then I got married. Now I don't have anything nice. And then David woke up from his dream and realized he was one begging. There you go. Scotty is about right, right? When I'll tell you as you guys all know, when the ducks all line up, when the stars are in a line, shit just happens, right? I had no intentions of ever marrying a Filipina, even though I had known hundreds of them. And then there I was, and here I am. So yeah, I used to have money, but now I'm poor. In the 70s, cats were awesome. Woo! Cars were awesome in the 70s. I agree. Not so much in the 80s. Now, late 80s, they started to suck. I'm still a fan of mid 80s, IROCs and things, Mustangs, the Fox bodies. But I think cars now kind of suck. But I'm old now. I don't really care about cars. I care about luxury. When you get older like me, I dream of a luxury SUV, not a hot rod, not a convertible. I got rid of the convertible years ago. I dream of something that's very luxurious, like a Volvo. Is that a Volvo? A Swedish car? Or a Lincoln? Or a Bentley? Something comfortable. That's what I dream of. I dream of luxury, not coolness. I don't care what it looks like, as long as I sit in it and it feels like I'm driving on air. I'm driving on a cloud. So when you get older, your definition of being cool shifts and changes. It's kind of like the food thing. When you're young, as long as the food is cheap, you're good. As you get a little bit older, you want the food to look better or to taste better. As you get older, you want it both to taste better and to look better. It's the same thing with women. When we're young, any girl will do. But as we get older, we get a little bit wiser and our tastes become refined. So Pat likes that. I haven't cared about cars to drive since I've been in the Philippines. I agree. When you go live in a third world country, having a cool car or a car at all really kind of is at the bottom of the list, Scotty. I agree. We did car shop living there. I'm glad we didn't waste our money on one. But living in the Philippines, I would buy one of the multi-cabs. I would get a $3,000 multi-cab and drive it. I wouldn't spend good money on a car in the Philippines. It was never cool to be cool. I was too cool for school. You guys remember that? So, that's right. So our priorities change. Our food tastes change. Our women tastes change, except for Dennis. Dennis has always stayed the same. And then, of course, our desire for luxury is like why I like to go on cruise ships because I don't got to clean anything and people will feed me and I just get to walk around looking like I'm a big shot. My cool car now is an electric bike. Yeah, now, but look, the electric trikes and things are pretty cool. I gotta admit, I don't want an electric car. I would never own one. But some of the electric scooters, like in Asia, are pretty cool. They wouldn't work in America because you get ran over. But if I lived on a farm or a place that I could drive one, like a golf cart community, instead of having, if I lived in a golf cart community down in Florida, I wouldn't have me a golf cart. I would import or get me one of those cool scooters like they have in the Philippines, a nice one. And I would do them here instead of a golf cart. So yeah, my cool. I have an old beat up fishing truck that I drive. Everything we have is paid for. To me, being debt free is better than having a cool car. But if I could ever, I couldn't even raise enough money on YouTube to buy myself a new mobility scooter. I had to buy my own mobility scooter. So there's no way I'm ever going to afford a nice car. We have to just take what we can get. Tyler, I think Tyler's from Canada. Tyler, are you from Canada? So yeah, my wife has a nice car. She has a Subaru, but it's not, it's a good car, uh, a safe car, good quality car. And it's the top of the line Subaru, but the seats after 4 hours, I mean, nah. David, you like luxury life? Yes, I do. Or minimalistic things. I like both. Why can't we do both? If you have worked very hard, like a slave for luxury, you opt out for it. Still, then I feel food, clothing, house, electric, and internet are sufficient. Have you ever considered strapping on an e-bike motor and lowering the seat? And you got a go-kart. Yeah, I got an e-bike. I ride my e-bike sometimes. I got to get 20 pounds off. So the e-bike's getting ready to get ridden. UK, waiting for my game down. Ah, sorry. UK, Canada, they're all kind of the same, right? Well, here's what I say. Just because you like luxury doesn't mean you necessarily like to have lots and lots and lots of things. I don't need lots and lots of luxury cars. I only need one Bentley. I only need one top of the line Lincoln SUV. I only need one of them. I don't need 10 of them. I just need one of them. I only need one very nice 5 million, $2.5 million beach house in Florida. I just need one of them. So, you can be minimalistic while you're still enjoying luxury. Scotty says, if you're good at learning other languages, then life is easy with the Filipino. I agree. Without knowing the language, it makes it a bit difficult to communicate sometimes. Yeah, Scotty, and what I'm really lucky about is my wife spoke perfectly. Her English is well, her accent's a little there, but her English skills, because of her work and everything in the Philippines, was not never a problem. Reading, writing, and speaking. So I don't have to learn to understand. Now I know a lot of the words. I'm not good at pronouncing them or speaking them, but I understand what they mean. So you either got to marry somebody who's extremely proficient in English, and then you can catch up on it. But if you are a linguist, it's great. Would you rather not know what she's screaming at you? Well, look, I don't know anyway. I don't care if it's an American woman and you're an American. 99% of the time, nobody from any culture, from any planet, any world knows what the wife is screaming about. Do we? How many of you guys have ever been with somebody from your own country, like America or the UK or Canada or India, and you have some female screaming at you? Do we actually even know what they're screaming about? No, we do not. We don't have a clue what they're screaming and complaining about. So, would you rather do it in a foreign language or English? I don't think it really matters. I just don't think it matters. And you guys all know it's the God loving truth that I'm talking about. Scotty says, not always easy to know if she's screaming because, oh, I know. Raises her voice, does not always, yeah. The problem in the Philippine culture community, which drives all of us crazy, in the Philippine culture, the problem is this. When the girls all get together or they're talking one on one on a phone, they talk normally like we do, right? But in about 5 minutes, they get louder and louder and louder. If you got a bunch of them at your house, and I've done videos on this, right? They start off here and they wind up here. And I've told my wife and some of her friends when they've been in small groups, and you girls would not need to keep raising your voices if you would listen to what the other girls are saying, but you're not listening to what the other girls are saying. You're talking over the other girls. So they're not mad at each other. They're just talking over one another. All right, I think I'm back in the house now. We almost got in trouble, boys and girls. You guys see that, right? We almost got in trouble. We got in trouble there for a second. Yeah, we're back. We were in trouble, man. I'm telling you. Woo, we were on the edge. People, in trouble, 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 trouble. You never know when the internet gods are going to get you. Get you, get you, get you. Gonna get you, get you, get you. So, oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. So Pat, do you have your surgery scheduled yet? I know we lost a bunch of people from the chat. Maybe they'll pop back in. So do you have your surgery scheduled yet, Pat? I decided this year I'm not going to pay attention to my doctors. I'm going to take a year off and not listen to them. I decided I'm not going to pay attention to them at all. I'm just going to do what I want to do, and that's it. Sometimes it gets old and tiring going to the doctor all the time, right? So Tyler's coming in with some money. He's going to go on some cruises and find him some honeys. So, man. Tyler's back in the house. Welcome back. Well, I was running my mouth on the internet and you saw what happened, right? That's what happens, Tyler. Welcome back. Any good Filipina insults? I'm telling you, man. Somebody's listening and saying, we don't like what he's talking about. Lawson's in the house. You man. Everybody's not loading my good friend Lawson. He's a fine, outstanding young man in the world. It's been a while. How's everything going? Sorry I've been out of the loop for a bit. But I'll be in for a few tonight. Great. Lawson, good to have you. Thank you all for the thumbs up. Lawson, how's things going for you, man? How are things going for you? I hope going well. So, any big plans for the summer? Tyler, like I said, I had a perfect girlfriend. Was diabolical. Yeah, I would agree. You got to watch. When they're asking questions about how to cut your body parts off, you got a problem, right? There may be something wrong if people were talking about body parts cutting off. Everything's going fine. Just decided to join tennis. Nice. The other day, and yeah, I'm going to the beach twice and just hanging around for the summer. All right, that's cool. So, tennis is cool. Tennis. I don't know if you thought about this. I'm trying to be. Tennis is a good place to meet girls, not make them, but meet them. Tennis girls are hot, Lawson. Just keep that in mind. Going to the beach is good. Uh, my wife's getting ready to go to Chicago in June with her sister, hang out with her sister for a few days before her sister goes back to the Philippines. You like that, right? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? So this summer we're not planning too much to do. This summer we're going on a cruise in October. We're going to go to the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, and somewhere else. So we are going on a cruise this year, but it's going to be early fall for us. So I'm going to try to get some fishing in, but other than that, nothing too big planned. I'm sure this summer we'll have another big tropical shirt party like we always do. But other than that, we don't have a lot planned for the summer. I got some projects around the house I want to get done. I'm trying to save up money so I can move to Florida or Alabama next year. So we're working on that a little bit, but nothing too exciting going on. Especially when you know it's yes, the violence is serious. Maybe that's a good reason to say, well, honey, I don't think this relationship is working out for us. Ah, so young Lawsons went to Jamaica. It's my favorite place I've been. The people were so very nice. Very fortunate to go to the resort and meet nice. Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, we're going to Jamaica. We haven't been to Jamaica. We haven't been to the Grayman Islands, so we're going there. There he is in the house. How are you, Chef Roasting? How are you, Chef? Good to see you. Congratulations. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're staying busy. Thank you for the thumbs up and coming in and saying hi to each other. Very important. Yeah, we haven't been to Jamaica, but we're going. But we've been to like the Bahamas, Mexico, Belize, Honduras. Aruba is my favorite place so far. So we really enjoyed Aruba. Anytime, anytime. I'm glad you're here. Anything exciting going on in your world? We've been talking about traveling today. We've been talking about food and places not to go to and places to go to. One of the questions earlier was, and Lawson, you're new to this, is there any country that you don't want to go to? Is there any place that you just go, I don't want to go there? Hello, Chef. Good to see you from Thailand. Hey, 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 everybody be friends with each other. So yeah, there's well, something came up, Lawson, about you. Is there a country that you go, long story short, it didn't. All right, that's good. As long as they didn't do it. Wow, celebrating your 49th birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to you. I remember when I was 9 years old. I've never been 49, but I remember when I was 9 and I never had a birthday. I've never had a birthday. Gee, Chef, you just kind of made me sad. You just reminded me that I've never had a birthday. Gee, thank you. Happy birthday to you. Did you do anything fun or special for your birthday? Long story short, it didn't get cut off. Yes, that's good. Uh, Nobody wants it cut off. I'm telling you. Yes, we had a young man in America many years ago had his cut off because he was a cheater. His wife cut his off. His name was Bobbitt, if I remember right. Back in the 80s, I think. So what did you do for your birthday? Did you do anything fun, exciting? Have a party? What kind of food did you have? We haven't had a birthday. My wife had a big birthday party. She had her 40th this year. So we had a big birthday celebration for her. Cuba, I wouldn't really like to go. Neither did I. Yeah, nobody wants to go to Iran at the moment. Or Israel. Yeah. I would like to go to North Korea, Germany, and Croatia. Okay. North Korea? You mean South Korea? North Korea is the communist country. Maybe you mean South Korea? I actually would like to go to Cuba. Once we fix Cuba, uh, electricity comes back on, I would like to go to Cuba. I love Cuba food. I would never travel to a desert country too hot. Yeah, but it'd be cool to see. I would like to go to Dubai. I think going to Dubai would be cool. Didn't cut my story short, so to speak. She was meant to, yes, she was. But wasn't she fun while it lasted? Dinner, drinks, and a movie for my birthday. Outstanding. What kind of movie did? All right. You got to get more detail. One, what did you drink? What did you eat? And what movie did you see? Yeah, I know North Korea is, but I think it would be kind of cool because so many people haven't been there, and Dubai would also be. Oh, well, yeah, a lot of people haven't been to North Korea because you could be shot and killed in North Korea. So, yeah, you might want to rethink that one. But I would agree with you. I understand what you mean. I find forbidden areas interesting too. I would like to go to all the places we're not supposed to go. I would. So, but I do think Dubai would be cool. Camo's in the house, not me. I'd survive. That's good. Thank you for the thumbs up. I hope you survived there. But I would like to spend more. We've been to Korea, but we haven't spent any real time in Korea. So I'd like to do that. South Korea. We've got a lot of Korean friends over the years. But I get what you mean. It'd be interesting to see behind the curtain, so to speak. So But yeah, you have a good chance if you did something bad to get in trouble. I drank a Halle Berry and saw Hail Mary. Oh, I haven't seen that yet. My wife wants to see it. We just haven't seen it. It was too booked up. We were going to go last weekend, but we couldn't get a ticket. I ate a lemon pepper wing platter. All right, that's a good combination. Also, France, Belgium, Argentina, Japan. Yes, it'd be nice to visit. My mom said Germany was beautiful. I would go to all of those countries too. Uh, you know, I would. I would. I like to see all. Argentina is one of the ones I think would be cool. Japan. So yeah, I'm on the list. Lawson, we could do that. Okay, I agree with you. I like the idea of urbex, urban exploring. I do too. I don't like needles or ghosts, though maybe they're. I think urban exploring is very interesting. I like it as long as you don't get needles stuck in you or get arrested or have to deal with crazy people living in tunnels underneath Las Vegas. But yeah, I like urban exploring too. But I also like regular exploring out in real nature. But I'm with you. Urban exploring is a cool concept. I don't mind scariness. I like it. I'm good with scariness. It's so good, but very long. Is it? I heard it was really long, but my wife, somebody told her it was really good. So we may, well, no, we're going to shopping this weekend. Maybe we'll see if we can get tickets Sunday. But yeah, we could get a ticket. Catacombs in Paris. Yeah, I don't know if I would want to go to the catacombs in Paris because I think everybody's done that. I like to go to abandoned buildings and root out pigeons and smell the back crap. No, catacombs would be all right, but I don't know. Paris, I mean, France would be cool to go to, but I don't really have any desire to like go see the Eiffel Tower or Paris. I would like to see the country of France, but I'm not really big on like even Italy, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I could give a crap about that. Would I like to go to Italy and just hang out, eat food, and travel the countryside? Yeah, that would be cool. Maybe the catacombs in Paris. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. But maybe there's no cats there anymore. Maybe all the cats and the combs ran away. You never know. Maybe the kitty cats took the cat to the took the combs. I mean, I think it would be really cool, and I'm not Catholic by any stretch. I do think it'd be really cool to go to the Vatican City, especially if you could sneak in and see things that people aren't supposed to see. So that would be cool. I would like to see the Church of Notre Dame. That would be cool to see. I like real historic buildings. Things I like buildings that had some real historic context to them, not a tourist trap. I used to have an abandoned office and warehouses where I lived. Nice, was never that bad, but as a teenager, couldn't agree more on the nature. Yeah, yeah. See, but I do like exploring. My wife won't do any of it, and in America, you can't do it because you get arrested. Everything's off limits in America. You can't go see anything in America. So unless you pay the entrance fee. So, but yeah, we're gonna go see the movie eventually. I don't know when. Maybe we'll wait until it comes out on TV. I don't know. But I know you guys won't like this, but on Netflix the other day, I saw a really good documentary, or not a documentary. I saw a really good TV series about Garfield, President Garfield, and his assassination, called Death by Lightning. Death by Lightning. One of the greatest little presidential TV show series I've ever is really it's not a documentary. Um, and probably only 10 or 20% of it was real or authentic. But I watched that the other day and went, wow, that's a really good television show. But it was like 6 episodes only. But if you like history at all, about Garfield and how he was shot 3 months into his presidency, and you know, um, all of that, the political drama behind the scenes and the infighting and the crazy guy that shot him, all that was cool stuff. It's a good story. So very good series. I don't know what I'm gonna watch this weekend. So but maybe we can get a movie in. My wife loves to watch the Korean TV series. So she likes the Korean. I like the Korean horror stories, the ones that are all bloody and gross and murderous, where they got these weird creatures coming out eating everybody's brains. My wife likes the Korean ones where they're dreaming of love and romance and magic. Watch the Masters. Why would I watch the Masters? They didn't invite me again. I have a rule, young Lawson, that if I don't get invited, I don't watch. They didn't invite me to come to the Masters, and I don't know why they keep snubbing me. Golf isn't my thing, to be honest. I like to drive around on golf carts and golf courses, but I don't like to play golf. Korean TV is good. It is. It's interesting. Korean TV is very out of the box. Lawson, you should watch some Korean TV. You might get a kick out of it. There's a lot of it that has to do with superstition and magic and just stuff that you would never come up with. The Korean people, I don't know if the Koreans are all on drugs and they just sit around doing drugs and coming up with TV series or what they do. But I'm telling you, they come up with some stuff that's crazy. But we like Korean TV. We do. I like it. Plus, the girls aren't ugly. Cameron says, David, with what ideology people using you as produce kid? What? Like in India, people do because everyone else is doing without realizing how tough the duty of parent is. How many children do you have? Uh, well, I have no kids, and I don't know if America has any ideology. I guess Catholics do. Catholics like to reproduce because they don't believe in condoms or birth control. But I don't think Americans really think about, they just have kids. I don't really think they think too much about it. I really don't. I know some Americans try to have as many kids as they can so they can get a bigger welfare check. I know that. But in America, a lot of people don't, we all think raising kids is difficult, but it's just something that's done, right? I don't really know how to answer that, but I don't have any kids. Proper made shit better than UK. Yeah, I agree with that. We believe in them. Yeah, as you say, believe in children. Believe in the children. Yeah, I don't really know what Americans think about children, to be honest. I don't think they give a whole lot. I think, I don't know. I think Americans just think about sex. I don't think Americans are thinking about children. I think they're just thinking about having sex. So, and then they have kids. I do think, I will say this, and I know this is wrong, but I do believe that if you can't afford to raise children and take good care of children, then you shouldn't have them. Pippo, you're an idiot. We're not going to show your stupid comment. Come back with something better. You can try to troll again, but you're a moron and idiot. And we all know that you are one. So, but hey, thanks for coming in. I wish you were a better troll than you are, but you're not. So I feel bad for you. I know you're living in your mama's basement playing with your little weenie. So try again. Try again. Do better. Try again. So I don't, but I do believe that, but it's kind of like dogs and cats too. I think if you cannot properly take care of an animal, then don't get a pet. It's kind of the same thing with children. If you can't take care of yourself and you don't have it in your budget to take care of kids, then don't have kids. But then again, I'm somebody who doesn't have kids. And I made the decision many thousands of years ago not to ever have children because I'm greedy and I didn't want the kids to take my money or put me in a nursing home when I'm old. Because one thing I know about children, no matter where they're at in the world, they're always wanting something to eat. Children want to eat food, and then they want clothes to wear. That's a lot of money. Feeding children and giving them clothes? Come on now. I could buy a luxury car with all that money. A dog poops in the woods and no one's here to pick it up. Did it. That's kind of like the tree falls in the wood thing. I think you switch it around to a doggy. Yes, of course it did. Of course it did. You think if, and this is a great philosophical question, but look, we don't matter in life, right? We do not matter. When I'm gone, things are still going to happen. The TV's still going to play. The sky's going to come up. It's going to rain on Tuesdays. McDonald's is going to jack their prices up. Whether I'm living or not doesn't matter. It's not relevant into the picture of things. So if a tree falls in the wood and nobody hears it, did it really? Yeah, it really did. Just because we're not there doesn't mean it didn't happen. That likes that. Does parents and society influence people to get married? And if they have kids in the U.S., well, no. And I hear people look down on a person if she was not married, like in the 30s, even call male. Well, some of your males are kind of weird. I've heard stories about some of your 30-year-old men. So in India. Well, I think here's what I'll say from my many, many thousands of years of wisdom and knowledge. I do think young people have this ideology, this belief that they should get married. So I do think young people in America think, yeah, we should get married. Now, I do think maybe that is not as strong as a belief as it was 70 years ago. But I do think young people are looking to get married because one, they want to escape the environment that they're in. So getting married gets them out of their house, lets them become an adult and live an adult life and do their own. So I do think a lot of people, young people, get married because they think they should. Do we look down upon people that have never been married in their 30s? No, not really. It's more common in America than you think. A lot of the times in America, if you run into a 30-year-old who's not married, it's because they're divorced. I didn't get married until I was in my 40s, but of course, I dated and had long term relationships. I was just never stupid enough to get married because I didn't want anybody to take my money. Pat says, I'm listening, brother David. Woo-wee. So, I don't know what anybody else thinks about that. Do you think Americans are prone or pushed to get married? I'm going to go for a little bit. I'm gonna watch some tennis tips. Woohoo! So, are the women playing tennis? Is that what you're saying? You're still on later. I'll get back. Also, did you watch the? Yes, I did. I did. Very cool. Good to see you, Lawson from PAC. I did. Very cool. Space Kin's in the house. Good to see ya. I just saw that you were live. Ken says I will rewatch full after my live stream. Excellent, Ken. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining Jamie's baby shower the other day. It's Jamie's birthday, unbothered avocado birthday weekend. Hello, Ken. Good to see you. So I do think it's a natural course for people to think, yeah, we should get married. But I do think there's more and more people that go, nah, marriage is a thing of old. I'm glad they landed safe. Yes, apparently there was a 1 in 20 chances. Yeah, well, I agree, Lawson. But to be honest, there's a 1 in 20 chance that I'm going to get struck and die on my way to the mailbox. So everything's, kind of risky. So, but I agree. I'm with you. When you get a chance, you can message me, Pat, or email me. There's no hurry at all. I got my doctor's appointment scheduled at the hospital in a couple of weeks. Excellent. I think it's a culture and education that plays a part. Many exes have wanted kids, and I'm glad in a way I didn't. I'm very glad I didn't have kids. I, there's not a day, to be honest, there's not a day in my life that I've gone, gee, I wish I would have had kids. I am one of the probably the few people in the world that is very, very happy, very content, never wanted my own children. I don't mind children. I just didn't want any. And today I don't want any. And I'm glad I never had any. Yes, we watched it on the Zoom homies. There you go. But I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people want to get married because they're lonely. Get a dog, get a cat. If you're trying to get married, there's a couple things you can do. I think in America, because we're talking to somebody from India about America, I think a lot of people get married, one, because they're lonely, two, because they want sex. My suggestion is get a dog and just date, you know. But it's kind of up to you. I mean, I never had any real intentions of getting married, but here I am. And so there you go. I don't know. I don't know what other people think about marriage. Does anybody else in the chat have a thought about marriage? Is it a good thing, a bad thing? Should you do it? Do you think Americans like marriage? I think a lot of countries like India, we were talking about India earlier, I do believe they're pressured to get married in India, if I understand that right. I don't see the dog, bro. Well, I have a dog and a wife, so there you go. But yeah, most people like sex, and that's why they get married. They think they get it, But the problem is, single people get more sex than married people. They say, I don't know, but I, I wouldn't I don't know. I guess I'm a jerk. I don't recommend anybody marrying American women. I'm the wrong person to ask for curtain filled marriages on my fifth is planned. No fifth is planned. You plead the fifth. Yeah, I understand that. And so I think I do believe marriage is overrated. I don't, if it happens to you, what I encourage you to do is not to push for it. Let nature take its course. If it's meant to be, it will be. But then again, in today's world, what says that you can't just live together forever? Right? Is there a reason that you got to have a marriage? No. Well, I know, even years ago when I was still a professor teaching at the college, a lot of professors had long term girlfriends that lived in their own houses. So they all had separate houses, but they were devoted to each other. But the girl would go home and, they would spend the night here. They'd have both houses and they had great relationships. Likely for divorce. There's a high likelihood for divorce. Ken says, nopers, nope. All right, Ken, take care. See you later. So, yeah, I don't know. I think marriage is overrated, but if you want it and it falls in your lap and it's a good, if you think it's the right thing to do, now look, I'm going to pick on Ken because he's leaving, but Ken obviously thought it was good to do 4 times. Well, I only thought it was good to do once. in many generations or many decades. I've only been married once. I've only been married 11 years, and I'm old. So, it never came on me to marry, marry, marry. So if you get married once and it fails, there are people that love to be married. I knew a lady many years ago when I was managing a truck stop. This is what I call a truck stop for. Way back when she was probably married 7 or 8 times. She liked truck drivers. And a new one would come by and she'd meet him at the bar, and before you know it, she was married. Fool me once, Ken. Yes, yes. Don't fool me again. And here's what I say the problem with marriage is the problem comes in not in the relationship. The loving part's fine, but the financial side, the hardships, the drama, the family drama. So when you get married to somebody, you and they both bring in a lot of baggage. No matter if you're 18 or 19 years old, it doesn't matter. You both have families. You both have dramas. You both have dreams. And then what you got to remember, our personalities change and develop about every 5 to 7 years. So every 5 to 7 years, as we age, our beliefs change, our morals change, our ethics change. We evolve into something different. I get married to a Filipino, one of us pass away. Who does one? If I get married, Pat says, to a Filipino, one of us passed away. Who does one Filipino be enough for? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Pat, I get it. I get what you're saying, and I'm the same way. If Lorelai passed away, I would, or we, yeah, I would never get married again. At my age and the way I like to do things, I would never get remarried. I just would do. If when I die, because I'm going to die a lot sooner, very soon, in comparison to my wife, I wouldn't hold it against her if she found somebody and got remarried. It wouldn't bother me. But I personally would not get remarried at all. Yep, I think at a certain age, you're not changing your mind about things. Yeah, you get to that point where you cannot be molded, you cannot be retrained, you cannot be modified. You're not as flexible. And luckily, maybe that's a good thing for Lorelai and I. I was already set in my ways when we met and got married, right? Which means she had to take me for who I am. This is who I am for the rest of my life. I'm kind of set in my ways. But I wouldn't do it again. I would not. Do I regret doing it? Oh, absolutely not. But I wouldn't do it again. And why? You ask why. Well, why wouldn't you ever get married again? I'll tell you. I don't want to have to tangle two lives together. I don't want to have to worry about the other person's money, finance, or health. I don't want to have to merge two worlds together anymore. I would prefer just like I did before I was married, live in my world. And my world was controlled and directed by me and me alone. I wouldn't do that again. I would not integrate two lives again. I just wouldn't do it. It's just not something I have any desire to do. So do I regret this one? No, not at all. But I just wouldn't do it again. I don't know. So I think people, if you want to be married, you should get married. But what the philosophy is in America about marriage, I really don't know. I think people do it just because they're lonely. Lonely as can be. So just have girlfriends. There's nothing wrong with dating, you know. I don't, here's something I think I find interesting. And we're talking about India and the Philippines real quick. Well, okay, I understand what you're saying, Tyler, that you can have your finances all separated, which I don't think is the right way to do it. I think if you're going to be married, you need to be married. I do think you could do things separate like that, but you're still integrating each other into your lives, on a serious basis. So, meaning, you got to consider their family and the drama. I don't want to integrate lives. It's more than money. But I believe if you're married, you should be on one team financially. Big John Taylor's in the house. Says I wasn't meant to be alone. A lot of people believe that. A lot of people, from a biblical standpoint, doesn't believe man was meant to be alone. I don't know. Um, I don't know if that's true or not, to be honest. But as long as you are happy with the marriage thing, I think that's what you should do. If you're not, then don't. And I don't, I really believe that if you're one of these people that are kind of like, eh, then leave the women alone and don't waste time and energy getting married. If you know you're going to be a bad husband, then don't get married. If you know that you're going to be a bad wife, if you know that you're going to kind of lie and sneak around, or you're going to cheat a little bit, or you're going to do a little bit of this, then don't get married, right? So I'm one of those people. I believe whatever you do, you take it very seriously. Marriage is like owning a dog. You know, when you buy a dog, you get a dog, you commit yourself to taking care of that until the dog is no longer. Marriage is the same way. So I'm really big on that. But if you can't put your whole heart into it, then don't do it. If you're going to do it just to have something to do and the other person's going to be miserable, don't do it. And I tell us men all the time, when you're trying to go after these Filipinos and other girls, either man up and go date them and see them within a year or leave them alone. If you're some of these guys that get out here on the internet and you start chasing these Filipinos and you're lying to them, baby, baby, I love you. I'm coming to the Philippines in 3 months. I'm coming there in 6 months. And you have no intentions, no way, no method, meaning you're poor, you're broke, you have no passport, you don't have the ability to get there, you're not serious about packing your bags and going to the Philippines, then leave them alone. Big John, as someone who lives alone, I have a house with a garden, I can conform. Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah, I like to be alone personally. I'm okay being alone. Trees and plants are cool though. They are. Vegetation's great. Hi, PAC, and everybody said hello to Jamie, Unbothered Avocado. Jamie, did you get something in the mail? I sent it out on Monday, I think. So if you haven't watched your mail, watch your mail. So just stopping by to say hiya. Patton says, well said. Thank you, Jamie. Good to see you. Well, most girls today think that it's a man's job to make them happy. I agree. And I think that's wrong. I don't like, and I think you and I have talked about this, Viking. I don't like happy wife, happy life. I hate that saying. I believe that if the only way that I can have a happy life is to make my wife happy, then that's a really bad relationship. Really bad relationship. If I'm going to go through hell just because she's not happy, I don't like that. I want to run a date, but it's hard. You say you love them. I love you. How to run a date? Just say I love you, baby. So, you know, I've been on dates many thousands of years ago, and somebody asked me how much I made and all that shit. You know, whatever. Hiya, Pat. No, I haven't gotten it. Well, check it. Keep checking your mail. It'll be there. I sent it out. I think Monday or no, sorry, Tuesday. I think it got in the mail on Tuesday, Jamie. So hopefully the mail people can read my writing. So it's in a white number 10 envelope. I addressed it, Charlie. All right. Hello, Pack and Jamie and everybody. Everybody said hello to Viking. Viking, good to see you, my friend. Haven't got what Jamie, sorry, said. Oh, I sent Jamie something in the U.S. mail, Pat. So I sent her something in the mail. That's what I was asking her. She got something in the mail from us yet. Good job, Jamie. And happy birthday, Jamie. Happy birthday to Jamie. Everybody say happy birthday to Jamie. Ah, you get it, Pat? All right. So, but I don't know. But what I was going to say, because I think it's a funny concept. Okay. Here's something that I like to throw out there because I think it's funny. Anytime, Jamie, how come like women from India are really pretty? Women from the Philippines are really pretty. Women from Korea are really pretty, but the men are ugly as hell. How come women in America are yucky and us American men are handsome? Why is that the way it is? Have you guys ever thought about why, like Indian women, Korean women, Filipino women, women from Asian countries are really hot, but the men look like toads? Have anybody ever thought about that? Is that kind of like a joke in evolution? I don't know. Happy birthday! No, gotta preheat the oven. Thank you, Jamie. You know, just asking. Has anybody ever thought about that? I mean, American men are damn handsome, but every other man in the world, including guys from UK, you know, kind of look yucky in Canada. So I'm Nick James. He's going to go to bed. All right, Nick James, you just go to bed now. Don't stay up past your bedtime. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but I'm the beholder. But you know I'm right. Has anybody ever seen a handsome man from India? Raise your hand. Has anybody seen a true-blooded, good-looking Filipino man? No, you see some boys that are half American, half Filipino, or half Japanese. You see some halves, right? Some mixes that are handsome and charming and good-looking. But you know, I'm just saying. Uh, Gemma says men in India play cricket in the sun and hustle a lot in life. For women that lose their own beauty, I has also thought that. See, and women can be beautiful. Why would they want to date toads? You know, I mean, if you're, I understand where you're coming from, Gemma, because it's kind of like if you're 30 years old, a man in India, and you haven't got married yet, your chances are very slim you're going to get married because by now you don't have any money or your money isn't enough to get a good looking girl. And there's, so who wants to marry a 30-year-old single guy in India? Maybe I'm being mean tonight. I don't know. Tyler says, just because our teeth are fucked up, we are constantly good looking. There you go. Poverty is also a major issue. I agree. Money speaks. I will say this. Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, is one ugly ass dude. But since he has billions of dollars, he can get any woman he wants in the, and he gets the other ugly. But he has an ugly girlfriend. That's what's funny. He has an ugly girlfriend. But money speaks. If you got a lot of money, you know, you can have anything. Buckhaw is I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, Tyler. But it was an interesting thing. No money, no honey. But it's but there are men that will date ugly women and they don't gotta have money because men are not as shallow as women. Women are looking for good looking men. Or is it the other way around? Women are not shallow, men are shallow. Who's shallow? Are men shallow or women shallow? Oh, he's a Thai fighter? All right. All right. I've never seen him, so I can't gauge. But who do you think's more shallow? Men or women? Some of the lady boys in Thailand seem handsome. I I think that's the wrong terminology. I think what you're saying, because I don't think a lady boy can be handsome. A lady boy, by definition, would have to be pretty. Maybe boy lady could be handsome. Well, I don't think that most Indian girls look so much at TikTok, okay, and other crap apps. Yes, okay. And I do not think Indian women travel far in their own country. I would agree. So even men may be ugly, but I think they can. Okay, find a woman. I agree. I think they can. You know, and of course, you can always just do arranged marriage. But on the scale of things, Filipino men are just as ugly, right? Women. So Tyler apparently enjoys the ladyboys of Thailand. He finds them very handsome. So, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, I guess. I don't know. But it is interesting. I just find that interesting because I've known some couples, and I'm picking on India, but this goes for a lot of countries. I've known some Indian couples that live here, and the chick is good looking, and the husband's a toad, you know. So, and Philippines is the same way. I don't know how many Filipinos we know, and their husbands are butt ugly. They're scrawny ass little drinker, worthless people. They're not good looking men. They're not handsome. Sorry you're dying. Oh man, we're sorry. I'm sorry. Well, Tyler, you're coming into money, you said. So if you're dying, I do have a PayPal app on my YouTube channel. If you're dying, go ahead and send your money to my PayPal account, and I will make sure it's taken care of for you. I will do that on your behalf just because I'm a kind human being. I will take care of it for you. I will do it. I'm just saying. So, fine woman. But I would agree. You know, I think in a country like the Philippines, we were talking about the ideology of Americans earlier. I think in the Philippines, a lot of the boys and the girls do think they should get married. It's their natural progression. We try to teach young girls in the Philippines now, Lorelai and I, do not get married. We've been encouraging young girls in the Philippines, do not get married. If you ever want to meet a good husband and leave your country, like to Germany, Norway, the Philippines, Australia, or America, wherever, do not get married. So we've been preaching to young girls for the last 5, 6, 7 years. Do not get married in the Philippines. Now, like I can see my cheeks are hurting. Well, I was just trying to help you out, my friend. I was just trying to be kind and say, look, I'm happy to supervise your money and, it will be there when you need it. So Pat likes that. But Pat knows I'm right. Everybody knows I'm right. We tell the young girls in the Philippines, if you ever want a chance to get out of the Philippines, become a nurse or don't get married and find a foreigner, right? And Lorelai has nieces, and we have friends that have young girls, and we've been preaching to them until the cows come home. I don't care if you have a boyfriend. Do not get married in the Philippines. Do not marry somebody from the Philippines. So now maybe they're Manny Pacquiao's son or something, then it'd be different. Prostitutes are sufficient to satisfy yourself, comparing it with lifelong contract. I disagree. Maybe in India, do you guys have to? Is prostitution a big thing in India? I mean, it's a common thing in America. Um, and I think Asia has issues with that too, where it's more socially okay to go to a prostitute, like in Korea, and Japan and India, or Hong Kong, I think Thailand. I think there's terms and ways for them to go and partake into prostitution, which is more considerably normal. In America, prostitution is still taboo. It's still not a good thing to do. And it really isn't a good thing because the prostitutes in America are skanky. They're skanky, skanky, skanky hoes, drug addicts. You don't want to do prostitution in America. But that's a good question. Nurses and flight attendants are on the top of the humping most men. There you go. Nurses are good, right? Nurses and flight attendants. Nothing wrong with that. At least they're at the top of the list. One of the oldest trades in the world where it's regulated and legal, then fair, but others are just grim. Yeah. I understand that. We have Vegas and some other places where it's illegal in America, but being legal and being the social norm, I think, are two different things. And I don't know everything about Asian cultures, but I've watched enough documentaries that suggest that the Asian culture is okay. It seems it's okay for the guys to go to prostitutions. If your wife in America knew that you were hooking up with a prostitute, she'd get you divorced. You'd be divorced. No, that's not good with humping body count. Well, I know they have a high body count. I know what you meant, but still, I was looking at it from the other standpoint, Mikey. If you're wanting to add to their body account, then if you know that the nurses and flight attendants are at the top of the body count list, and all you want to do is add to that body count, then it's a good thing to know that. That's where I was going with that. Yeah, if I went to another country and found a nurse, I'd bring her home. All right. Well, a lot of nurses can immigrate to first world countries. Like in America, if you're a nurse in the Philippines, you can come here pretty easily and be a permanent resident. And then you can bring your family over. So, because we have a huge shortage of medical nurses in America. We do. So I know Viking, us good people like you and I, we don't want a chick with a high body count. But I was just thinking about some of these guys that like chicks with high body counts because they just want to be a ship passing in the night. Then knowing that your target audience are nurses and flight stewardesses, then there you go. That's all I know. See, I don't know anything. What do you guys know? I don't know anything. But I do think it's and I watched a TV series called Sopranos when it was out and all that, and it was like common for the Italian mafia guys to have a Goomba, which I guess isn't a prostitute, but could have been a prostitute. But a Goomba, I think, was like or no, Gamache. Gamache was like a girlfriend, and that was acceptable for them to have a girlfriend and a wife. But sometimes the girlfriend was a prostitute, even though they didn't mean that they were prostitutes. I don't know. So is prostitution a big industry in India? I would think it would have to be if you got so many lonely, desperate 30 plus year old ugly men in India that can't get a woman. I would think prostitution would be a big business there. And then in India, do those ugly 30-year-old men that can't get married, what kind of women do they want? Or do they not care? So I'm thinking of a business adventure. And maybe you're from America and you're a prostitute, maybe you should move to India and maybe you'd get a lot of business from the guys in India because maybe they would like to have a Western looking woman. Maybe versus like in America, they would want a Asian looking woman. I don't know. I always said never date someone you work with. Yes. Go to the gym with. Yes. A nurse or actress was hoping it was different around the world, but guessing people are the same in general. Yes, I agree. I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, you don't want to ever date anybody you work with. I agree with that. So go to the gym with, yeah, workout partner. I dated nurses when I was younger. I at the college we had a nursing degree program, so I ran into a lot of nurses because they came through our courses. So I did date a lot of nurses, a lot of school teachers, a lot of people like that. No flight attendants. Nurses were always fun. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 9:15 my time. It's Friday night here, Saturday morning everywhere else in the world. I want to thank you all for coming in. Thumbs up. You guys all say goodbye to each other. We're going to do a live stream tomorrow randomly. It'll be probably during the day. We're going to go to some malls in another city, and I'm going to try to do a couple of pop-up live streams tomorrow, one outdoor and one indoors, while we're out and about shopping, having a good time. So I like to do those. If we get a nice environment, I throw the camera up and we do a live stream and drive around the mall, look at the mall. So watch out for that. Make sure you hit that alert bell if you haven't done it. And maybe we'll see you tomorrow. If not, we'll see you sometime next week for sure. I do got some new videos coming out, so be ready for that. Pay attention to all of that good stuff. Does anybody have any last questions? Is there anything we can do to help you in your world? Pat, we appreciate you, my friend. Good to see you again as always. Viking, appreciate you, my friend, as always. Thank you, Pat. We will. Ryder, good to see you again. Thank you for coming in. Gamma, it's good to see you too from India. We appreciate you. So everybody take care, and we will see you probably tomorrow. A couple different pops up. They won't be super long, maybe an hour each or something. But it's always cool to watch people in malls. So you guys take care, and we will see you guys another day.